Hey everyone, so I'm making a small video about a set of scripts I made for Photoshop, mainly aimed at tileable texture makers because it's really annoying how much work goes into making just even simple tileable textures. If you're making them from scratch, it's even worse because you have to manually offset everything and it's just terrible. There are a couple other scripts out there that can help with it, but even them, they all have their little gotchas that can be more time consuming just to use them. So I made Layer Cake to fill this void and try to help out people that are making tileable textures just a little bit. So hop over to Photoshop and we'll go through it. So just to illustrate right off the bat, the features that Layer Cake has. So Layer Cake is an extension, has three scripts: Layer Cake, Rebake, and Icing. If you go and select a layer, hit Layer Cake, you can preview it, you can have it offset to half your document width, you can automatically have it offset to document width. This isn't on by default for those watching and wondering how to do it. I'll come back to this feature later as well. If you had a bunch of layers selected, you could merge them to view them while you're doing a preview. That way you could actually see like exactly where they're all going to sit, kind of thing. So yeah, this is what Layer Cake does. It just takes your layers and it actually offsets them, all your selected visible layers, and offsets them by whatever you specify. So again, we're going to get this top layer, which is actually this outline one, and that's what we're going to be able to see where it's going to sit. Sure. Most people that are making tileable textures only offset by half their document width anyway, so it's not a huge deal that they can't see every single thing. One thing I have found that is kind of the gotcha for this one is, for example, if you select this color layer and this color layer group and this top group, and you run Layer Cake, it won't let you go ahead because what it's trying to do is use this layer as the preview layer, and since it's a adjustment layer, you can't really do that. So just be warned. Make sure that if you're going to select a bunch of layers, for example, if I selected this and the color effects, it'll have no problem doing it, because there's another layer that's on top of it, and that's what it's going to try to preview with. So that's the one little gotcha that I found using this script. We'll go from Layer Cake to Rebake, and Rebake basically will take anything that you've done in Layer Cake and like setting up your offset and your vertical offset and your mode. It'll go and use those to offset again. So for example, since we did 1024, 1024, half our document width for both, if we hit Rebake on the arrow, this is purely just for example, you can see that it puts it back where it should be, and again, offset. Okay, so that's Layer Cake and Rebake. And icing. Icing really is the icing on the cake for this. So now you've got a faster way to do offsetting of multiple layers across your Photoshop document. But if you really wanted to preview your tileable texture, you'd still have to go and merge it all down and then go and take it to another document and make it bigger, or take it into a 3D program and make it bigger. And it's kind of a hassle, so I made icing to kind of combat this. Hit icing, doesn't matter what layer you selected in it, it'll go and make a 2 times bigger document and lay it all out for you, so you don't have to do anything, it just automatically does it for you. And if you, for example, forget what size you were working in, you know that this is a 4K texture now, so it says preview 4K. If you wanted to see it bigger again, you can just hit icing one more time, and it'll make another 2 times the size document, and you can see what it looks like when it tiles, and you can see it's pretty good. There's not a whole lot of tileability that you can see, other than like some small pieces, but yeah. So that's what Layer Cake, Rebake, and Icing does. I personally hope that it helps you guys out. If it does help you guys out, please feel free to reach out to me, whether that's on Twitter at T. Ivaskovich or on Polycount. I have a thread going for layer cake on there. You can also find that a link to it on my actual layer cake page on my portfolio. So yeah, there's a download link down here that will give you the extension file itself, which you install. And you go up to Window Extensions Layer Cake, and it'll pop it open for you, so you can have your buttons and go to town. So that's all there is to Layer Cake. I really hope it helps people out. Again, if it does, please let me know, because I would love to know that it's helping people out and it's not just sitting out there on the internet and nobody's using it. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later and hope to hear from people.